tell me a little bit about work on your game. That's your slogan. What does that mean to you, and who should be paying attention today?
Well, thanks a lot for having me on, Mike. Excited to be here. So work on your game is a philosophy that I didn't even know I was teaching, actually. From my background playing sports, I started playing basketball overseas in 2005. And at that same time, I put this video on this brand new video website called YouTube the same year. And that video was coming off a VHS tape. You remember those, Mike, from back in the day?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I took that footage, and that's the footage that actually got me started on YouTube. It was just a little short highlight clip that I was using to try to get into professional basketball, actually. So people saw that video on YouTube, and they just started asking me, can you make more videos, which I did. After a few years of me doing this, before it was a cool thing to put content on the internet, players just started asking me about my mental approach, because they could see that I could play, but they still didn't know who I was. It's not like I was on TV. I wasn't this world famous guy, but they could see I could play. And when they found out about my background, that I had come from a Division III college, I had only played 1 year of high school ball, a lot of the players could really relate to my story. So what they wanted to know, in addition to, hey, how can I dunk a basketball or shoot a three-pointer, they wanted to know about the mental approach, because they said there's something about the way this guy thinks that I need, because I just got cut from my high school team, or I'm playing at a small college and I don't know how I'm gonna make it pro from playing here, or I'm having these same struggles in basketball. It sounds like he had. Now he made it. So what is going through his head for me to make it? How can I do the same thing? So he just started asking me questions about things like showing up every day, or performing in front of an audience when it mattered the most, and about sticking to things when you have setbacks, or just how to begin things, how to make things happen. So the answers to those questions, when I started talking about them, became this philosophy that I now call work on your game. And what it's about is taking the mental tools to get you to the top 1% of the sports world, and teaching how those tools translate to business and to life. And who we help: 3 specific types of people. Number 1, the person who feels like and knows they need more game. And game could be anything: business game, sales game, basketball game, dating game. Number 2 is a person who feels like they have game, but for whatever reason, they are not showing it when it matters. So this is the frustrated individual. So they know they can do it, but they're not doing it. And then the third type of person is a person who feels like they have game and they believe they're showing it, but nobody's paying attention. So they're not getting the ROI from their game. So they feel like they're performing, but they're not really getting the traction that they feel like they deserve. So anyone in any of those 3 categories are the people that we serve.
What is one attitude you would like people to have?
One attitude I want people to have is understanding that your job, especially when it comes to your self-belief and the way you approach yourself, is not to fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it is a misnomer, is actually an oxymoron. Doesn't exist, because you don't want to tell yourself you're faking something. It's just like Cinderella at the ball with the prince. As soon as that clock struck 12, she went back to wearing rags again. That's what happens when you fake it till you make it. What you actually want to do is become it. Decide who you want to be in life. Like we talked about earlier, you be it first, then you do it, then you have it. Cinderella had it backwards. She tried to do it first and it backfired on her. So you want to make sure you become it first, then you go out and you be that person. So ask yourself, what kind of salesperson do I want to be? How much money do I want to make? Where do I want to be on the sales charts and the rankings in my company? And start carrying yourself like that person right now. And your energy and the way that you walk and the way that you talk, the way that you deal with prospects, the way that you deal with people who are rejecting you or trying to challenge you. Carry yourself like the person who already has the success. And I guarantee your actions will change immediately just off of that switch in being. So if you start doing that, then the doing will change and your actions are going to follow. It has no choice but to do so.
I love that. One thing you would like people to do leaving the podcast?
One thing I want people to do aside from that is you can go over to mirrorofmotivation.com, claim your free copy of that book. The book is subtitled The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. What it really is about is you answering that question. Who do I need to be? It gives you the frameworks to answer the question for yourself. That's why it's called the Mirror of Motivation. So mirrorofmotivation.com.
And one tip, tool, hack, or technique to use?
One tip, tool, hack, or technique to use. Every day before you start working, ask yourself, who is the person that I see myself being in the future? And carry yourself like that person from that point forward throughout your day. Just start with even your physical posture. How does the top salesperson stand compared to how you're standing? How are they sitting compared to how you're sitting right now? How do they take care of their clothes and how do they look after their appearance compared to what you're doing right now? I guarantee you that'll change your actions immediately.
Thank you for watching this highlight video from the How to Succeed podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify, or click subscribe right here on YouTube to get notices about future episodes. And remember, whatever you are, be a good one.